The Adventures of Pip and Dot to Aunts in the Great Forest. Deep in the heart of the great forest, where the trees stood like ancient sentinels and sunlight danced through the leaves, there lived a bustling ant colony under the roots of a grand oak. Among the many ants in the colony, to stood out Pip and Dot. Pip was small but full of energy, always curious about the world beyond their tunnels. Dot, on the other hand, was a bit larger and more cautious, preferring to think things through before acting. One bright morning, Pip's curiosity got the better of him. "Dot, we should explore the forest," he exclaimed, his tiny antennae quivering with excitement. "The forest is dangerous, Pip," Dot replied. "There are birds, beetles, and who knows what else out there. But think of the stories we could bring back. The colony would remember us forever," Pip argued. Reluctantly, Dot agreed, knowing she couldn't let Pip venture out alone. And so, with their tiny sacks filled with crumbs for the journey, they set off on their grand adventure. Their first challenge came sooner than expected. They reached the Whispering Stream, a sparkling brook that cut through the forest. For ants as small as Pip and Dot, the stream was a roaring river. "How do we cross this?" Dot wondered aloud. Pip's eyes lit up. "Look, the Leafboat." Nearby, a large oak leaf had fallen into the water, bobbing gently against the bank. Pip quickly climbed aboard, urging Dot to join him. With a little nudge, the leaf began to drift downstream. As they floated, they marveled at the sights around them, dragonflies darting overhead, fish swimming beneath the surface, and tall reeds swaying in the breeze. But their awe turned to panic when the stream's current quickened, pulling them toward a cluster of rocks. "Hold on," Dot shouted. With a quick flick of her mandibles, she snagged a vine hanging over the water and pulled them to safety. Pip looked at her with admiration. "You're amazing, Dot." Dot blushed but said nothing, grateful they were still afloat. Their journey led them to a dense part of the forest where the sunlight barely reached the ground. As they wandered through the underbrush, they stumbled into a sticky situation literally. Pip accidentally walked straight into a spider's web. "Help, I'm stuck," he cried, struggling against the threads. Dot froze as a shadow loomed above them. A massive spider descended, its many eyes gleaming hungrily. Thinking quickly, Dot grabbed a small twig and began cutting through the web. The spider hissed and lunged, but Dot's determination didn't waver. With one final swipe, she freed Pip, and the two tumbled to the ground. "Run!" Dot shouted. They raced through the forest until they were sure they were safe. Pip panted, looking at Dot with wide eyes. "You saved me again." "And you owe me another crumb for the scare," Dot teased, trying to lighten the mood. As night fell, the forest transformed. Fireflies lit up the dark like tiny stars, guiding Pip and Dot to a magical meadow filled with glowing mushrooms and sparkling dew. "This is incredible," Pip whispered, his usual energy replaced by awe. The meadow wasn't just beautiful, it was also home to a group of kind insects who welcomed Pip and Dot to their feast. They shared nectar and stories of their adventures in the forest. One old beetle gave them advice: "Courage and caution make the best companions. You two are lucky to have each other." Pip and Dot smiled, realizing the truth in his words. With the rising sun, Pip and Dot decided it was time to return home. Their journey back wasn't without challenges. A hungry bird nearly spotted them, and a sudden rainstorm turned the forest floor into a muddy maze. But together, they overcame every obstacle. When they finally reached the colony, the other ants gathered around, eager to hear about their adventure. Pip and Dot recounted their tales of the Whispering Stream, the spider's web, and the glittering meadow. From that day on, Pip and Dot were known as heroes in the colony. They proved that even the smallest creatures could have the biggest adventures when they worked together. And so life continued under the grand oak tree, but Pip and Dot always kept their eyes on the horizon, dreaming of the next great adventure.